we are going to concentrate on making me a new idea journal. I have got a couple that they're just busting at the seams, so I need a new one. Now, this is some heavyweight chipboard that I have here, and this is what I am going to use for my journal. I'm thinking I want it 7 inches tall by 5 inches wide, 7 by 5, and I'm thinking maybe a 3-inch spine. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not positive. So let's just go ahead, cut this at 7. And so I'm just doing it like that because this is a very thick piece of chipboard. Okay, so then if I do 5, will 5 be good enough? We're going to do it at that. I may wish I had done it wider and taller, but we're just going to go with this because I can make another one later if I need to. So there's 5, and then I need to cut this one at 5. So we'll just see what all, today it may be just getting the cover ready. Okay, so now I need, I'm thinking a 3-inch spine. So let's cut this at 3 inches. And then we'll cut it at 7. So 3, and then again at 7. And I need to get some Tyvek or something. Do I have? No, I have some somewhere. Okay, so there's that. Let's see. Let me put some of this out of the way so that we can see what we're doing here. I'm going to pause you guys and grab my Tyvek, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I've got my Tyvek. I use the, whenever I get something in a priority mail envelope, I save that envelope because it is Tyvek and it makes a great spine support. So don't ever throw those away. So I am just going to use some double-sided tape to begin with, and I'm going to put that down on my spine first. And I will use double-sided tape and my Fabri-Tac. I just feel like it gives me a little bit more stability and support, especially because this book will probably end up being huge like all of my other ones. Let me just trim this tape off. And these are my non-stick scissors. They are Teflon coated. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. And I think I've got about 1 inch on either side of the spine, because that's what I need or want. So now let's just pull this up. And then we will put some glue on it and then put it down. Alright. So let's get our glue going, which my glue is of course stopped up. Let's try this again. Alright, so this is Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to put quite a bit down because I want to make sure that this holds pretty good. Okay, so there's that. And I am just going to eyeball it and center that up right there. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Just get it burnished down and they're really good. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to get some of my score tape here. And I want to put some right down in here. Because I want to have the score tape on my book, my cover as well. And I didn't put it right up against that spine because I want to have a little bit of a gap there at my spine. It doesn't have to be a very big gap, but I definitely want a gap there. So I'm just putting this down just like that. Okay, so now what I want to do, make sure that it's down good, and then I'm going to pick this backing up off of this tape. And then I am going to use my glue, and I'm going to put glue all along in here. Okay, so I'm just going to take my spine here, and I want to stay a little ways off and try and get it even. That looks pretty even. And I don't want to turn it over or mess with it just yet because I don't want to make it shift. So we're going to leave it for right this minute. And I'll just go ahead and work on this side over here. And we'll do the same thing. We're going to put glue all along in here. And when I put this down, I want to try and have about the same amount of space on this one that I do over here. So I'm just eyeballing it. And the glue gives me a little bit of time to move it. And I think we about got it, guys. I think we might have done it. Alright, I'm going to try to turn this over without shifting it. And I think I done that too. Alright, so let's get it all in there good. And I'm okay with the glue coming out the side because that means I got plenty of glue on it. I'm perfectly fine with that. There we go. I think that's glued down now. And I could come back in and get all that glue off, but I have wet wipes right here, but you know I'm not going to use them. I'm just going to make a mess of things. They have glue erasers, and I have some. In fact, I think I have one right here. But I think the glue may need to be dry. Yeah, I think the glue's got to be good and dry, and I don't feel like waiting. I don't know, it worked pretty good. Maybe I should start using that a little more often. Or maybe I should just be a little more careful with my gluing. I don't know if I want to. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and turn it over. It may stick to my desk, but it's okay. So now I'm going to take and put some score tape all along in here because we want to bring that Tyvek over. And you don't have to use Tyvek normally, you know, when you're doing these journals, but this one I know for a fact it's going to be a chunky monkey and I'm going to have a lot of stuff in it, so I would rather have the peace of mind of knowing that it's not going to rip, you know, from having so much in it. And then I need to put some right here. And we'll put one more right here. And yes, I know, it's a lot of tape and a lot of glue, but it makes me feel better. Then I'm just going to get my little Teflon scissors and trim this little bit up right here, maybe, now that I've got it stuck down. When you're doing this, you probably are a lot more careful than I am. Alright. So now I want to just like make sure that's down good. And that's, so I don't need all of this. So I can, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I'm going to cut it right here. And I'm not throwing that away because I will use it. Alright, I think that is good. So let's go ahead and pull our tape back off. Lay that down so the glue can go ahead and start going that direction. And then we'll start gluing this down. And I'm trying to figure out the signatures because I know that it's going to be an idea journal. I may have most of my signature be like cardstock. Normally I wouldn't. Normally I would have like paper and all in it, but I really need this to be sturdy, so I'm really thinking that the whole thing may end up being cardstock. We'll just have to see. Alright, so I'm putting glue down in those seam areas there, glue here. And so now what I want to do is pull this up, just like that. And then I'm going to pull this down. And I'm going to bring that glue down and over. I'll really work that glue in. Get that in there good. Bring that glue up on this part here. So I really want to make sure it's glued down very good. And then I will glue this part here down. It does have some glue on it from the overage, but so now I'm just going to bring that down and make sure we got it glued down pretty good. And I think we do. And then again, I want to make sure I get that all good. Alright, so that's looking good. So now, the next thing will be deciding on what I want to use for my cover. Now, like I said, because it is an idea journal and I know that it's going to end up being chunky, I am thinking that I am going to do this for all of it. I think this might work out better for me. So I'm going to pick a cover, and I'm pretty much going to probably use this for all of it. I'm thinking this for my cover. So I'm going to pull 2 of these, and I need maybe this for my spine. We'll see. See what else there might be. Or this, I don't know. I'll take a look and see. Because what I will do is I am going to cover it, and one sheet will not cover all of it. So I will cover it like this, and then I'll put some here, and then after I glue my signature, or sew my signatures in, then I'll cover the spine. So let's just see. We want to come a little more than halfway. So I'm just going to kind of mark this with a pencil. I'm not going to measure and do all of that because you're not going to see this anyway. So I think I want it to go to about here and about there. So let's cut that. And again, I have no idea what size I'm cutting it. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. That's just kind of how I do things. And so I think that's going to work. And I think we're going to do score tape on this as well. So I'm just going to put some score tape about middle of here. And then on the edge of there. And then I want it on the edge of the actual cover. And again, this is just a little bit more stability with it. And put a little piece here. And then we'll put a piece kind of across here. And since we're using glue, I'm not going to stress too much over the rest of that. Alright, so let's go ahead and cover this. So I'm just going to pull out my tape backing. And stick myself to the tape like I always do. I'm really good at doing that. Okay, one more piece. Alright, now let's take our glue and glue all along where I have that tape. And so, because we want to make sure that our cover's on good. Alright, so now I am just basically going to take my cover and I'm going to line it up as best as I can, like that. And I'm going to get my little doohickey, whatever this thing is called. I'm going to find where that seam is, maybe. Like right in here somewhere. And I'm just going to kind of score that to go ahead and start breaking that paper down some. because I don't want this paper to crack, and it will. I mean, if it does crack, it's not a big deal because it's going to be covered. Now the next thing I want to do is just kind of miter my corners here so I don't have so much right there. And then right here where that seam is, I'm just going to cut a little V. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. Alright. Now the next thing we need to do is more score tape. Yep, so we need a little piece here. And we need a piece here. And I need some here. And here. And another little piece right here. Then I want to go along the top of the flaps and put a little piece, so that it will make it hold pretty good. And one more little piece, and then I need to score along those. So I'm just going to take my bone folder, whatever this thing is, and I'm just going to really get creasing that good, just so that it'll start kind of breaking down that paper, so that when I fold it, maybe it won't crack. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of fold and burnish it so it'll kind of know which way it needs to go. So that's all I'm doing. And one more. Alright, it's looking good. So let's go ahead and glue this down. So I'm going to pick up these pieces here. And pick up the back of that tape. And here. And I might better go ahead and pick up this too, because it looks like it would go over it a little bit. So now I'm going to get my glue, and I'm going to get some right there really good, and then right on these flaps. And just bend those over and give them a good burnish. Just like that. Then I'm going to go over here and do this part. So I'm doing the same thing. Just getting that tape up, or the backing off of it, I should say. And then getting the glue. There we go. Now I just need to put these down. Just like that. Looking good. And now I just need to do this end here. And do the same thing, put glue all right in here. And then close it over. Okay, now let's take a look and see how that cover is looking. Oh yeah, oh that's pretty. That is very pretty. Alright, let's cover the back, and that's probably all that we will have time to do today. So again, I need to do the same thing. I'm just going to look and let's do it like this maybe. So I need to cut about here and here. So let's cut this. And oh, I thought I had cut the other mark off. I mean, I'm goofy enough to do that. So we just want to do the exact same thing that we just did. So just get my score tape, and I'm actually going to put it right there because I want it on it just a little bit. And then on there. So I'm just going to repeat the process that I just did this side. And then tomorrow we will start covering the inside and putting together our signatures, which they're not going to be hard to do because I'm just going to use all of this kind of paper out of this paper pad so that I know that they are good and sturdy. So now let's just pull the backing off of this tape. That's all I'm trying to do, but Lord, even with my pokey tool, it don't like to come off for me. Okay. One more, we can do it. Come on, bad boy. Alright, so now let's put our glue down. And get some all in there, all on that spine. Yeah, we getting it. Alright. So now I just need to make sure that I line this up. I mean, I'm not like trying to match it or anything. I'm just trying to make sure that I get it. And it looks like I got too much down here and I can't move it now, but it ain't gonna hurt. So let's go ahead and burnish this down. Flip it over, and we want to miter the edges. Just like we did before. And then the same thing right here, we want to cut a little V out. And right here. Okay. And then over here, I am going to go down in that and kind of score that seam there so maybe it won't tear. And then I'm just going to run my bone folder right here. Alright, now let's do our tape. I'm just making sure everything will fold good. And I think it will. So now we need to do our tape. And then we will call this video done because we will wait until tomorrow to work on the inside. So just putting this down. So again, I'm putting some on the top of the chipboard and on the top of the flaps. Or as close to the top as I can get it. Y'all know how I am. I'm making a mess. Let's see. Almost done, guys. This is going to be a cute little journal, I think. Especially to be able to look through it and see all the ideas. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy that. Oh, these things drive me crazy. I can get them out of the way for a minute. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on this. So I just need to pull the backing off of that tape. And glue that down. We'll just go ahead. Okay. So now let's pull this other backing off. And we'll pull it off of there because I don't know if it'll come over it or not. And then we'll put that down like that. And now I need to do the same thing to this side. Come on. Let's just go ahead and do this as well. If I can get the backing off. Well, that's wanting to come up. All right, let's try this. Just put that down like that. Give it a good burnish. Okay, and then this end. All right, let's see what it looks like now. Let's do that. And get it all burnished down. All right, let's see. How does it look? Oh yeah, guys, check it out. That's gonna look good. All right, guys, come back tomorrow because we will work on the inside, getting it covered and picking out pages for our signature. We got a lot to do, but I think we got a lot accomplished today. So anyway, guys, I will see you tomorrow.